Welcome to Lookouts and Waterfalls in the Blue Mountains, episode 16, Let Our Videos Be Your Guide. In this episode, we drive to Leura to visit Leura Cascades, lookouts and the top and bottom of Bridal Falls. Hello and welcome. We have driven to the Leura Cascades car park and about to walk to the upper and lower Leura Cascades via the meeting of the waters. After that, we'll look over the top of Bridal Falls for its view. From there, we'll walk to a small lookout called Gertrude's Lookout, and then further on to Evelyn's Lookout for a similar view. And lastly, we'll walk down to the bottom of Bridal Falls. Before we start, here are the roads we followed to get to the start of the walking track.
We have followed the M4 motorway from Sydney onto the Great Western Highway and will take the Leura exit 43 kilometres on the bridge over the Nepean River. If your vehicle has a trip meter, set it to 0 as you exit the highway. At the top of the hill, turn left at the roundabout into Leura Mall. At 650 metres, proceed straight through another roundabout, then the shopping centre and a third roundabout. At 1.8 kilometres, turn right into Gordon Road. At 1.9 kilometres, cross Jersey Avenue onto Cliff Drive. At 2.6 kilometres, turn left onto Chelmsford Drive and stop in the car park.
As usual, this is another place we've never been to, so it's all new to us.
So that makes it exciting. Let's go.
Before we leave the car park, let's take a look at the upper Cascade. Historically, when the Western Railway line was constructed across the Blue Mountains in 1867-1868, Gatehouse number 9 was erected where the line crossed the Western Road, so the gatekeepers were the first permanent European residents in the area. It wasn't until 1881 that any evidence of mountain scenery in this area was published. The earliest appearance of the name Leura was on a plan of land subdivision dated 1881, south of the railway line, and belonging to Frederick Clissold. On his plan, Clissold named a distinctive waterfall Leura Falls. Many theories have been advanced as to the origins of the name of Leura, but the debate has by no means been settled. When Clissold's sale was reported in the newspapers, the subdivision was called Leura Estate. This is a photograph from David Noble.
Once on the lower Cascade path, we'll see the meeting of the waters. Convergence of, on the left, an unnamed creek that originates in Kingsford Smith Park near the railway. and on the right, Leura Falls Creek, that originates below Glenview Street, a little south again near the railway. The meeting of the waters became prominent when the Katoomba swimming baths were constructed in 1913. The first Katoomba swimming baths were built in 1902 in the unnamed creek situated at the bottom corner of an allotment of land at the corner of Hope and Waratah Streets. The second swimming baths, built in 1913, were much closer to the meeting of the waters and above Chelmsford Bridge, as seen in this photograph, and indicate that these baths were on Leura Falls Creek. Prior to the construction of swimming baths, this area was already the focus of a number of walking tracks leading to the first fall, the second fall, and to the Federal Pass. The first fall is now called the Bridal Vale Falls, and the second fall is Leura Falls. Where to next, Graham?
From here we'll walk down the path beside the lower Cascades in Leura Falls Creek. Many people know that currently Katoomba's Echo Point and the Three Sisters are floodlit at dusk until 10:30 p.m. But few know that the Blue Mountains Council has been turning floodlights on since 1932. Few people know that 2 sections of the full floodlighting scheme had been completed at that time in 1932. The Leura Cascades were floodlit for about 800 metres in length, beginning at the meeting of the waters and operated until about 1952. If we find any evidence of the lighting poles and fixtures, we'll let you see them. Leura Cascades, Gordon Falls, back to the picnic area. Middle bridge with a view. Hard to see upstream with all the trees. Three of those lighting poles here. This is another photograph from David Noble.
Following Leura Falls Creek, the united stream from the meeting of the waters through the Cascades by the path that accompanies it, we will arrive at the top of the Great Fall. Prior to 1898, it was considered one Great Fall, even though it has three parts. Afterwards, it was called the First Fall, the Second Fall, and the Evelyn Cascades.
One remarkable feature of the First Fall is its shape. Most waterfalls have behind them concave rocks, the water by its action wearing them away, but the rocks behind the First Fall are convex, the water falling over and around a great protruding semicircular mass of rock. This gives it a very striking appearance, the space covered by the veil of waters being very considerable. At the bottom it is estimated to be about 90 metres. We will visit the bottom of the falls a little later. The depth of this fall is about 165 metres, and today it is called the Bridal Falls. We had our first look at the Bridal Falls when we visited Bridal View in episode 14. Where the waters roll over the rock ledge at the top of the First Fall, visitors could get a view of the Second Fall, now called the Leura Falls, but for us it was obscured by trees.
And next up is Gertrude's Lookout. Before that it was Gertrude's Outlook, and possibly named after a Catholic saint, as a book with the prayers of St. Gertrude was lost in the area. In those early days, St. Gertrude, 1256 to 1302, was sanctified for several attributes including great visions. What else do we know, Graham?
In the Nepean Times on Saturday the 6th of June 1896, it says, "The whole of the track along the edge of the cliff has been railed in order to make it perfectly safe for visitors, and a grand view is obtained, especially from a prominent point called Gertrude's Lookout." Gertrude's Lookout. Woo! And a rather unusual look at the Bridal Falls. Right to the bottom. Now from there you can swing around and we can see the valley from Gertrude's Lookout. Okay, that's enough of Gertrude.
On we go to Evelyn's Lookout, once called Evelyn's Outlook. This lookout is not signposted, but we know it is further along the track. Here we pass the lower end of the round walk that circles back to the Cascades and car park.
And this is Evelyn's. And although you can't hardly see it from here, that's Bridal Falls just there.
Now we move down into Leura Glen, the valley below the first fall. The sound of falling water has been growing louder, and shortly we'll arrive at the bottom of the Bridal Vale Falls.
As spoken of earlier, the most remarkable feature of this fall is its shape. The water falling over and around a great protruding semicircular mass of rock gives it a very striking appearance, a veil of water. The depth of the fall is 165 metres and at the bottom it is 90 metres wide. We visited 5 places today: Upper Leura Cascades, the meeting of the waters, Leura Cascades, the lower part, the top of Bridal Falls, Gertrude's Lookout, Evelyn's Lookout, and the bottom of Bridal Falls. You can do all that in one day, but take your time and enjoy the wonderful fresh air, the sunshine, the wonderful vistas, but most of all, stay safe by familiarising yourself with our safety instruction at the end of this episode.
In our next episode, we drive back to Leura to visit Kia and 3 other lookouts to overlook Leura Glen. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Bye.
Whatever way you discover the Blue Mountains, we want you to have a safe and enjoyable experience. Whether you drive, catch public transport, or cycle to the destinations we visit here, some walking is necessary. The walks are usually short, but can contrast greatly, so you need to be aware of the risks. Have a safe and enjoyable sightseeing experience at these lookouts and waterfalls. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to be alerted when next we visit the Blue Mountains.